It's Wednesday, July 2nd. In the headlines, the government will not renew Jamaica Public Services license, and the company is concerned about the government's decision. Regionally, Nigeria and St. Lucia to boost education ties. And in sports, long jumper TJ Gale set to return at London Diamond League after injury layoff. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The government is signaling a major shift in Jamaica's energy future. Finance Minister Favour Williams has announced that the administration will not renew the current all-island license agreement with the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, when it expires in 2027. But she's making it clear this does not mean the government intends to buy out the utility. Speaking at Jamaica House on Tuesday, Minister Williams said the decision opens the door for new negotiations and potential investments in Jamaica's energy sector. The all-island license, which grants JPS the exclusive right to transmit and distribute electricity, expires on July 8, 2027. Minister Williams stressed that continuing under the current terms would lock Jamaica into uncompetitive and costly energy rates.
This announcement is a significant step to reform of the energy sector and to seek better conditions on behalf of all Jamaican households and businesses. And so we stand in full support of this, knowing the positive impact that the reduction in energy prices, which we will be seeking, will have on the Jamaican economy, on households, on businesses, and for our future.
Energy Minister Daryl Vaz also addressed the attendees, noting that a formal letter was already sent to JPS notifying them of the government's decision.
Indeed, we are in a position to, on behalf of the people of Jamaica, pursue significant reform to the energy sector in a bid to secure better and more affordable outcomes for the people of Jamaica.
Over the next 2 years, the administration will engage with potential global investors and develop a new framework for electricity supply, one that Minister Williams says must benefit all Jamaicans.
Triggering the option, as you heard Minister Vaz say, does not necessarily lead to a purchase. It allows us to negotiate new terms on behalf of the Jamaican households and businesses, and it also allows us to look globally for others who may desire us of coming to Jamaica and leading this industry.
The move is being framed as a pivotal step in reforming Jamaica's energy landscape.
Where we are now, no matter what we do or what we try to do with the current license and the conditions of the current license, we are hamstrung because you're not getting the full effect in terms of energy price, even with the introduction of renewables. We saw LNG, we see the solar, we see all of the things that are happening, and we still are not getting the reductions that we need. So yes, and I think that, as I said before, this particular move is what needed to happen to make sure that we put ourselves in a position not only for us now, but for generations to come to be able to have a proper energy policy that's delivering to the people.
The current JPS license still has 2 years to run, but the government's early notice signals that change is coming and Jamaicans could see a more competitive energy sector on the horizon. The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has voiced concern following the government's announcement that it will not automatically renew the utility's all-island electricity license when it expires on July 8, 2027. signaling a major shift in the country's energy sector. The government intends to renegotiate the terms of the current license and has formally notified JPS of its intention. In a statement on Tuesday, JPS confirmed it had received official communication from the government. JPS's CEO, Hugh Grant, expressed concern about the announcement, noting the potential ramifications for the energy sector. Mr. Grant says, quote, "This development has several implications for the energy sector and for the country in general." He furthers, the JPS leadership, shareholders, and legal teams will review the implications while engaging key stakeholders, end quote. He emphasized that despite the uncertainty, JPS remains committed to its customers. He adds, quote, "Regardless of the path forward, we assure our customers that JPS remains steadfast in our commitment to deliver safe, reliable, resilient, and cost-effective electricity service to the nation," end quote. The government's move opens the door to potential restructuring or diversification of Jamaica's electricity market, with new negotiations expected ahead of the 2027 expiry date. Further updates are anticipated as both parties prepare for what could be a transformative period for Jamaica's energy future. Meanwhile, Jamaica's three major private sector lobby groups have endorsed the government's decision not to automatically renew the Jamaica Public Service Company's all-island license under existing terms, calling it a crucial step towards much-needed reform of the country's electricity sector. In a joint statement, the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica described the announcement as a recognition that Jamaica's energy landscape is in urgent need of transformation, citing long-standing concerns over high electricity costs and systemic inefficiencies. The statement reads, quote, "High energy costs have remained a significant barrier to business growth and a heavy burden on households," end quote. The groups pointed to Jamaica's 28% system loss rate, of the highest in the region, as a key driver of inflated energy costs. The group notes, quote, "These losses increase costs for paying consumers, deter investment, and erode confidence in the national energy system," end quote. Jamaica's electricity rates currently average 28 to 30 cents in US currency per kilowatt hour, placing them among the highest in the Caribbean. The group has outlined three core pillars that should guide any new licensing arrangement or regulatory framework: fuel mix and diversification, implementation and execution. That's to ensure policy changes lead to real-world improvements. This includes updated time-of-use tariffs, expanded wheeling arrangements, faster approvals for renewable energy projects, and modernized grid access rules for large-scale commercial producers, and access to affordable financing. That is, as the 2027 expiration of JPS's license approaches, the private sector is urging government to seize opportunity to reshape Jamaica's energy future for affordability, sustainability, and economic competitiveness. The Dominican Republic marked a milestone recently with the official opening of its new embassy offices in Kingston, Jamaica. The event comes as the two countries celebrate 60 years of diplomatic relations. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, joined Ambassador Angie Martinez and members of the diplomatic corps to inaugurate the new offices of the Dominican Republic Embassy, now located at the Proven Building on Gladstone Drive in Kingston. The embassy has relocated from its former home at 85 Hope Road, ushering in what officials describe as a new chapter in bilateral relations. Ambassador Martinez attributed the successful opening of the new embassy to her staff.
They are my heart, my embassy team. Really, what will I do without you? Absolutely nothing. You are the backbone of this mission. From the heavy lifting on the move to the finer details that make this place shine, your teamwork, creativity, and boundless energy have made this moment possible.
Minister Johnson Smith hailed the event as a timely and symbolic occasion.
This event marks more than the opening of a new physical space. It is an affirmation of the Dominican Republic's enduring commitment to deepening its friendship and engagement with Jamaica. We reflect positively on the fact that the Dominican Republic has maintained a physical presence here in Jamaica for as early as 1967 at various levels, with the embassy having operated consistently since 1999, dedicated service from successive ambassadors over the decades.
The inauguration also marked the closing chapter of Ambassador Martinez's tenure in Jamaica. Ambassador Martinez left an indelible mark during her tenure, which incidentally was her first assignment as an ambassador. She began her mission in Jamaica on May 7, 2021, in the midst of the COVID pandemic, which shuttered the world. During her tenure, she worked at creating a reciprocal commercial exchange between Jamaica and the Dominican Republic.
Since my appointment as ambassador of the Dominican Republic to this beautiful island of Jamaica, my sight was set on creating a new era in commercial, trade, and investment landscape in Jamaica.
She also facilitated significant investments from big Dominican Republic companies. She has also encouraged Jamaican companies to deepen their presence in the Dominican Republic.
May the flags of the Dominican Republic and Jamaica always fly side by side. May our voices rise in harmony. May the legacy of this shared journey inspire generations to come. May the story we wrote together in these years continue louder, bolder, and brighter. Gracias, Jamaica, desde el fondo de mi corazón.
Time now for the business report.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. The new president of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, JHTA, Christopher Jarrett, said that the JHTA executive will be ramping up pressure on the government over taxation concerns affecting the industry. Mr. Jarrett expressed confidence in the sector's outlook, noting that tourism now accounts for 1/3 of Jamaica's gross domestic product. He said with the addition of new hotel rooms, that contribution is expected to grow even further. And Mr. Jarrett told RJR News that the sector, which generated net foreign exchange earnings of US $1.76 billion last year, must become more inclusive to support its continued growth. NCB Insurance Agency and Fund Managers Limited, NCBIA, is now one of the investment managers for the groundbreaking Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, TWPS, following an appointment by the scheme's trustees. Under a 3-year contract that began on June 30, 2025, NCBIA began managing a portion of the fund, which currently stands at approximately $3.7 million. Antonio Spence, head of NCBIA, welcomed the appointment, expressing his gratitude on behalf of the company to serve the tourism workers of Jamaica. The TWPS, administered by Guardian Life Limited, is designed to benefit over 350,000 workers in the tourism sector. For the trading period ending July 1, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Medical supplies distributor R.A. Williams Distributors Limited with 351,213,208 units traded, representing 95.99% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,635,975 units traded, represented 0.99% of market sales volume. Office furniture and supplies distributor Stationery and Office Supplies Limited with 1,845,171 units traded, representing 0.5% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On July 1, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $90.35 million purchased and US $87.89 million sold to Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.24 per dollar, selling the US at $160.10 and buying the US at $158.86. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $4.91 per transaction, with selling at $122.31 and buying at $170.40. The British pound yielded Forex traders $2.09 in profit, with selling at $216.82 and buying at $214.73. For our credit report tip of the day, your credit score isn't just a number, it's a powerful tool waiting to be activated. When used strategically, it can open doors to premium perks that free up your cash, protect your purchases, and fund bigger goals. The time to stop letting rewards and resources slip through your fingers is now. Let's turn your credit into a wealth-building machine. So let's look at some benefits. You can enjoy annual travel credits. With the right credit score and the right credit card, you can gain up to $300 back on airfare, hotels, or ride shares. That refund pays for your ticket to opportunity. Say goodbye to foreign fees. If you're doing business globally, keep every penny you earn. There's no extra 3% tax on your purchases abroad with the right credit card. With your credit score up, you get extended warranties automatically. So when you buy that new laptop or camera, you could do so with confidence, because if it breaks, the card has you covered. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, St. Lucia and Nigeria are set to enhance educational cooperation, with a joint committee forming immediately to facilitate scholarships for St. Lucian and Organization of Eastern Caribbean States students to study in Nigeria. This initiative, a key outcome of Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's state visit, follows discussions with St. Lucia's Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre. The details in this report.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced plans to strengthen educational cooperation following a joint sitting of Parliament and a working lunch with OECS heads on Monday. President Tinubu is on a state visit to the Caribbean island. A key outcome of the discussions is the immediate formation of a joint committee to facilitate scholarships for St. Lucian students to study in Nigeria.
I am very pleased that the President immediately instructed that a committee should be formed, or will be formed. That is going to happen almost immediately. We've named our OECS side, and the President has named his Nigerian side. We expect the scholarships to happen in the next academic year. We expect students to be studying in Nigeria in the next academic year, based on the fact that the president has instructed that that should happen, and the committee will deal with it. So in the next year, we expect the scholarships to begin.
The swift action underscores the commitment to tangible results. Both leaders emphasize the importance of leveraging this partnership for mutual benefit, with education being a primary focus.
I honorably thank them for the opportunity to address the just action of the Parliament and ready to actualize our, dreams of getting closer to facilitate, business opportunities, education opportunity, capacity building, and look at other areas of agriculture and food security. We can easily do that by having, a working commission.
And I'm sure with the president's instructions and the president's goodwill and the way he has expressed his desire to help the region, we expect immediate and tangible results, particularly what the president calls the low-hanging fruits.
The discussions are expected to see immediate action.
Belize is making history in the world of tourism, and it's not just on the national stage, but across the entire region. Right now, the country holds 3 major tourism leadership roles, giving Belize a powerful voice in shaping the future of travel in Central America and beyond. At the heart of it all is the Mundo Maya initiative, a regional effort to promote the rich cultural heritage of the ancient Maya civilization. And as Efrain Perez, president of the Belize Tourism Industry Association, explains, Belize's leadership extends even further.
Our participation here as private sector or as BTIA certainly allows us to be able to be part of the conversation on a regional level, for us to be able to share experiences based on our private sector interests. And so I think that is a really good step for us. More so also because the BTIA also holds the pro tempore presidency for the Chamber of Tourism of Central America and the Dominican Republic. And so we come in representation not only nationally but also regionally, for us to be able to have that conversation and really see how best we will be able to further develop the Mundo Maya brand, and also see how to incorporate the Central American brand within the same, both organizations at the same time. This is a very historic moment for tourism in Belize, and I say that simply because of the 2 presidencies that we have. In fact, we have 3 presidencies in Belize right now. We have the pro tempore presidency for Fericator, which is the private sector arm of the tourism industry, and that looks at both Central America and also the Dominican Republic. We also have the presidency of CATA, which is held by the Ministry of Tourism, and that looks at more of the legislative side of and promotion side of the tourism within the Central American region. And Belize also has currently the presidency for Mundo Maya. And so all of these combined allows us to be able to have a stronger voice as a country. And for our private sector, this means that they would be able to take advantage of much more opportunities that will arise from both organizations, both Mundo Maya and also the Central American brand.
In sports, we begin with athletics. Former world long jump champion Tajay Gale is expected to return to competition on July 19 at the London Diamond League after missing the recent national senior championships due to injury. Gale's coach, Kerry Lee Ricketts, confirmed the comeback plans, noting that the 2019 world champion, currently ranked 3rd globally, is on track to compete as he works towards securing a spot on Jamaica's World Championship team. Gale's anticipated return will mark a critical step in his bid to represent Jamaica on the world stage once again. Now onto the field with rugby. Trinidad and Tobago played host to the Mexican women's senior rugby team at the Larry Gomes Stadium on Saturday. Chuale Bartholomew tells us that the last time these two teams met, Mexico got the better of Trinidad and Tobago. So the national squad had their work cut out for them this time around.
By the time we got to the venue, the TNT women were leading Mexico by a slender 5-3 scoreline in the first quarter of the match. And the visitors were putting some pressure on the TNT backline, looking for the breakthrough. But the hosts stood firm, keeping the score as is into the first break. On the resumption, Team TTO took the route of shock and awe, surprising the visitors when the speedy Nicolette Panto burst through on the right with a penetrative run before she is eventually brought down. TNT tried to continue the play, but lose possession right on Mexico's 5-yard line. The Mexicans, however, were next to score. The TNT ladies pressuring for the ball right after the lineout to give up a penalty. Fly half Stephanie Rosales takes the responsibility for the kick and blasts 3 more points on the board for her team, taking the lead by 1 point. 6-5 Mexico. Momentum started to go Mexico's way now as they were threatening once again. Elsia Chavez is halted on the 10, but they maintained possession, resulting in this play for Mariana Morfin to break through on the left flank to fall over for a try. Rosales coming dangerously close with a conversion kick, but the ball flies wide. 11-5 Mexico. The national team responded, putting some pressure on the Mexican defense here to win themselves a penalty. Leah Kintiba taking the responsibility and manages to just get it over the bar to bring TNT 3 points closer. 11-8 Mexico at the half. On the restart, Team TTO came knocking again with the Mexican defense, trying to keep them at bay. Panto faking the pass to turn on the Jets to burst through the Mexican line to take it all the way home, falling right under the sticks. Kintiba takes the conversion kick but skews it wide. 13-11, TNT back on top. Mexico were desperate to respond now and started to put some pressure on the TNT defense. The line-out putting the rock in Gisela de Leon's hands to run in, but she is clobbered right before the touchline. Great defensive work by the TNT ladies as they forced Mexico to fumble the opportunity. The referee would, however, give Mexico a scrum on the 5-yard line, and they broke trying to run the rock in. TNT would take away the scoring opportunity. Danger averted. The TNT ladies would have felt a little hard done after they thought that they had a clean getaway here. Onella George making an interception to run the rock all the way home, exciting the crowd. But the play was called back. No try awarded. Team TTO would continue to put pressure on the Mexican defense as they tried to force the issue. They eventually got a working line out for Zoe McKnight to burst through on the left to fall over for a try, but getting injured in the process. 11-18 TNT. The visitors were not going down without a fight and tried to respond here as the time wound down. The speedy Isabella Gonzalez breaks through and almost makes it home, but is clobbered just inside the 5. The Mexicans were trying their best to push it over the line, but the hosts were holding until they sprung another line out for Amy Ramos to fall over for the try at the death. The full-time whistle sounding right after the failed conversion attempt, giving the Trinidad and Tobago ladies a hard-fought victory over Mexico by 18 points to 16. And boy, did they celebrate.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. Thanks for watching.